Welcome. My name's Kathy A, and I am struggling with a little bit of a cold, but I wanted to get this particular video done because I've been hanging on to this stuff for a month now, and I want to do this video before I forget everything about this stuff I had wanted to say. This is BH Cosmetics. It's an online company. They do feature different products from them in Ulta and in other places, but they're basically an online makeup company, very inexpensive. They're famous for their multiple colored palettes, and I thought I would give them a whirl. I was watching, I think Thrift Thick was her name, Cassie. She's a great young YouTuber. She had just done a full face using BH makeup, and it inspired me to go and see how it would look for the mature face. So the first thing I wanted to start with was the brush set, and it comes in this really nice carrying case, which can also be wrapped around your waist. It actually connects here. So you can put it around your waist and use it kind of like a tool belt if you're a makeup artist. I think it's really convenient for displaying all the brushes you have, not necessarily their brushes, but any brushes. I think this is a great idea. Last year at IMATS, I saw one that was a kind of a folding triangle one, and I thought that's a great way to hold your brushes rather than using coffee cups or, you know, all the things we use, flower vases, everything else. So the brushes did not fare well. I think the only brush I liked actually was this tiny little one for smudging under the eyes. And right now, because of my cold, I have watery eyes, which is kind of a shame. I can't really demonstrate it, but the powder brush was okay. They all felt very scratchy. I'm not sure what kind of animal they took this hair from, but I didn't find that it was a very good assortment at all. I wanted to like their brushes because they're so inexpensive, and I'm always looking out for a bargain. But I can't recommend any of them, really. This one, I think, just on the fluke, is the nice one, and the rest of these are going in my giveaway, I think, because they just didn't pass par. So I just think that BH Cosmetics brushes aren't their thing, so I wouldn't recommend the brushes. So why don't we start with the face as I put it on, and the very first thing I wanted to do was put on the eye primer, and I got this thing called Canvas. When it arrived, the cover was open, and I don't know if you can see in there, but it's all crusty and pulled away from the edges. It's like it dried up and pulled away from the edges. So I promptly called customer service, and they sent me a second one. The second one also had a loose cap and has started to come away from the edges. So Canvas is a very shimmery, and I mean like shimmery, let me just show you what that does. It's just all shimmery eye base. Absolutely awful. Awful. I almost really, I should have just gotten my money back because I had a feeling it was going to be a disaster. I didn't want to touch the one that was all dried out, and when they sent me the second one, it was terrible. It was awful. So the eye primer, really bad. Really, really bad. Was a stick, and it's a blurring stick. I'm just going to put that on there. It feels very silicone-y. It did not really do what I want a primer to do, which is kind of fill in the lines and let the makeup last longer. So I guess the makeup lasted longer, but I didn't like the makeup, so it was not really a great thing. So I would say the face primer was okay. It's a little glowy. It's very silicone-y, dimethicone-y, kind of got a lot of slip to it, you know, for the Pinocchio lines there. So it's not bad, but I don't think I could recommend it. I've tried primers that do much more, that fill in better, that the makeup lasts longer. I mean, the price was right, but the price isn't always the best thing here. Okay, this is the BH Liquid Foundation. I had high hopes for this because I have tried Catrice and other kind of discounty foundations that I thought would be really nice. Goes on nicely. Migrates into the patches of my skin, into the lines, exaggerates the pores. Everything I don't want a foundation to do for me. It's not good for mature skin. If you have slightly dry skin, forget about it. Forget about it. That is the BH Liquid Foundation, and this color was rosy beige. Color wasn't bad, but it just did nothing for me and just looked like kind of a patchy, dry mess, and I was kind of embarrassed at work wearing this. The BH Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer. It comes in one of these kind of applicators, which is not my favorite. So I did put it on my hand. I applied it with my ring finger, just like I'm doing now. This is the light shade, and you can see it's very, very golden. Looks very, very golden on. I wanted to say I would like this. I didn't like the way it made little lines and indents underneath my eye. It did brighten the area, which, you know, since I'm not feeling well, it's actually doing a good job in making me look a little more awake. But unfortunately, the formulation wasn't good for under mature eyes. Now, if you set it right away, you might have a little better luck with it, but I didn't care for the concealer. And it is a very light apricot kind of look to it, a yellowish look, so you do get a jaundice kind of look as well. Yes, there's something good. I love this one. This is the Nude Rose Contour Face Palette, and this has a combination of pretty much everything you need for your face outside of the foundation. It comes in one of the plastic tin kind of case. It's got a very nice assortment. You get a mirror here, and it's got a nice assortment of colors. You've got a bronzer, a contour. This is a really nice kind of highlighter, blush topper, and then a beautiful blush. It's absolutely, it's gorgeous on, it lasts a long time, and it's a nice natural looking flush. You do have a yellow highlight powder or setting powder, and you do have this kind of shimmery, cool toned highlighter powder as well. This set worked really well. I was very impressed. I mean, I couldn't believe it came from them. So the Rose Gold Nude Rose face palette, definitely a plus on their product list. So I definitely would recommend that one. So Nude Rose. They're batting 1 out of 10 right now. The Ashley Tisdale collaboration, they collaborate with several YouTube celebrities, influencers. I think she's a young gal because she certainly likes a lot of glitter and satin in her stuff. This is a cardboard packaging. I'm not that picky about that sort of thing. What I am picky about is that this was difficult to work with. You have a very nice blush here, and it is beautiful. You get a nice bronzer, and this is sort of a highlighting blush topper. It's a little on the grayish silvery side for me. I didn't really care for it, and you can see it's a gray tone. It's a very cool tone. All of the shades pretty much have a little bit of shimmer to them, and I found it difficult to work with because I like to have mattes for my base eye and crease, and then I'll use the other things. Some of the shades are okay, but I felt that it just felt cheap and kind of gritty. So I'm not sure I could recommend this Ashley Tisdale palette. One thing I did enjoy actually was My Ray Ray. This palette, the packaging seems quite nice. So it's one of those fold out tri-corner things. You have a mirror here, and then you have a nice assortment. It looks like 15 eyeshadows. And then you've got a bronzer, a contour, blush topper, highlighter, shimmer. And this seems to cater to more medium to darker skin tones. I think that the colors would be very flattering if you have a darker skin tone. But I could use this color as a contour, and I could use this as a highlight. There was a little bit of that neon holographic thing going on. I'm not sure I'm really a fan of that, but this one is a very pretty kind of a blush topper. So these colors worked really well, and these two work really well also as eyeshadows. So I think that this was a really nice inclusive palette. The light shade here is slightly dark for what I like to have as my light shade in the corner. And if you use this, you've got that shimmer thing going on. It's not very pigmented, this particular one. So I was disappointed in some of the quality of this, but I thought that in general this worked really well, much better than the Ashley Tisdale. And you've got a nice assortment of colors here. You've got your purple magentas, you've got some beautiful like coppery colors, which I think are very pretty. Although we are getting out of that season now. We're going more into the pastel pinks. And yeah, they're very pigmented. It's almost like it's a different factory that made this palette than make some of their other palettes. So the My Ray Ray, I think, is a very good palette. I did get as a free gift, they sent me this palette, which is called the Afternoon Rendezvous. It's a 16 color eye palette. And quite frankly, I like this better than the stuff I had to pay for. This has, you know, your lighter shades for your lid, which you can go from lid all the way up to under the brow. They've got some nice mid-range shades you can use for crease colors, and then they have a couple of darks, and this kind of really interesting sparkly black, which actually comes off as mostly glitter, which winds up on your face afterwards. So this is a really nice gift. I was very pleased with the free gift. They didn't know I was going to review this stuff, obviously. The brow pencil. I usually don't have a problem with brow pencils with these companies. It has a nice spoolie. It is a little dark though. This is supposed to be the light brown color, and it's very, very dark, very dark. So unfortunately, I couldn't really test it out. I had to take it off right away because it just made my eyes, I had Groucho Marx eyebrows, you know, for when I tried it out, so I had to let it go. But it has the same feel to it that the micro brow does from NYX. It felt very much like that. So I would say probably brow pencil is good, but if you've got lighter hair color for your brows, you're not going to like this because this was the lightest shade and it was not very light. The mascara. This is the BLISS BLISS Lash Mascara. I didn't find this did very much for me at all. I thought it was kind of disappointing. It did leave little dings. I was sweating at one point. It just didn't work very well for me at all. I just couldn't recommend it. And this was the BLISS Lash, and I think I picked that one because it supposedly did everything for you. And I like big old lashes, as you know. So this did not work at all. The eyeliner works really well, but it doesn't come with a brush. You have to use your own brush with it. This is a black. I don't believe they had any other colors for the eyeliner container. So it worked really well. It lasted, a nice gel formula, and the price was really good. Last but not least, the lip liner. This is, they had quite a nice assortment of colors. And this particular one, this color is waterproof. This was called Stripped, and I like this very much. I think it worked really well. It held in my lipstick from bleeding out, and I did use it with these. Now this is the 28 color palette Nude Lips. This has an assortment, and by nude they mean all skin tones of nude, which is very admirable of them. It's got a clear plastic cover, which I really like. And then when you open it up, you've got all these pans of creamy lipstick. I marked the 3 that I really liked, and I'm just going to swatch them for you. Beautiful colors. There's a lot of transfer with these lipsticks, unfortunately. I felt they were cheap, and there's not a whole lot of them in the pan. I've almost reached pan on this one, and I've only used it like 4 times, so there's not a whole lot of product here, but it's a great way to find out what your shade is. Now, the only bad part here is that the shades are not named or numbered, so you have no idea what these 3 shades are that you like. They had a lot of similar shades in here, but I do like the fact that they had such a variety that whatever nude means to you, whatever skin tone you may have, you will find something in here that you like. But as far as the quality of the lipstick goes, it just didn't last very long. It would have to be retouched, and who wants to carry this puppy around with them in their purse all day to retouch? So that was kind of a fail, but I really did love these 3 colors especially. I thought they were very, very pretty on. So today is February 1st. I have a cold and I'm working on that. I will be doing a separate video all about the giveaway that I'm doing. This is my birthday month in February. I'm turning 60. I can't believe it. I know it's just a number, but it's a big number. So I'm doing the biggest giveaway I've ever had. I'm going to have 6 prizes, 1 for each decade of my life. And I'm organizing things to go into each packet now. So I will be giving you details in the next video about that. But I do appreciate you watching. I hope you're subscribed, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week, a healthy week. Take care, everybody. Toodles.